everyone, this is Bernard again from Benj Autotronics, and in today's DIY video we are going to talk about multimeters, basically for beginners and for all electronics enthusiasts. So with me here is a digital multimeter. You can see very clearly it can be used to measure current, voltage, resistance and continuity. The little markings here you can see clearly. We have current DC, we have current AC, we have continuity, we have resistance, we have voltage DC, we have voltage AC. And those are the basic features or the basic parameters that this multimeter will be able to measure. It also comes with these two probes. There is the red one for positive and then the black for negative. So as you can see here, there is a labeling called COM, and this is a port constant for ground or negative, and this is where you connect your negative port always. So our negative will come here and we will alternate this positive probe according to what we shall be measuring. And you can see here, if we put this positive here, we'll be measuring voltage, resistance and continuity. If we put the red probe here, we shall be measuring milliamperes. If we put it here, we shall be measuring amperes. These are small units for current. Milliamperes are just like units for very, very small current. So let me put it where we are going to start measuring voltage, resistance and continuity. So you just alternate this according to what you want to measure. Let us begin by measuring voltage. So I'm going to turn this knob to the voltage reading. In this case I'm going to be measuring this battery, and I will turn it to voltage DC. Voltage DC. So you can see here there are markings for 220, 200 and 1000. This is a 12 volts battery, so I'm going to set it to 20 so that I'm able to read the figures below 20. If this was a 24 voltage battery, I'll be setting to around 200 so that I read figures below 200. And this marking reads figures below 20 and this below 2. So this is a 12 volts battery. We will set it at 20. Our negative probe, we put it at this point, and our positive, since I'm going to measure voltage, I'll put the positive here. So this is the positive and this is the negative. So I'm just going to bring this negative to the negative terminal of the battery and this positive to the positive terminal of the battery. So you can see the reading, the battery is reading 12.45 volts. Okay, so next thing we are going to measure is continuity. Continuity is just like the ability of electricity or electrons to flow from one end of a conductor to the other. Basically continuity, we use it to measure or to determine whether a conductor is passing or is broken. So I told you we only alter the red probe. Continuity is this little sign here, you see. So I'm going to put the red probe here. The negative remains in COM. I turn the knob to continuity to this little sign here, right there. And if you get these two little pins and you try connecting them like this, you can hear that beeping sound. Let's begin by measuring the continuity between this wire. I'm just going to put one end of the wire at the negative and the other end of the wire at the positive. If my multimeter doesn't make a sound, this means that this conductor is broken somewhere. And as you can take a good look, you can see that this little fuse is broken. Okay, let us test this conductor here. I place at one end, and then at this end you can see the multimeter making a beeping sound. And that means electricity can pass through this conductor at both sides. This is a fuse. If I remove it and I measure, you can see there is no continuity. But if I replace back the fuse, there is continuity. We can also use this simple technique to measure or to determine if a wire is continuous. And for this wire, I'm going to get one end and another end, then I measure. I put this one end here and then one end on this terminal. So you can see the multimeter making that sound, meaning this wire is good and it can pass. If you measure and you see that the multimeter is not giving you that beeping sound, just know the wire has an internal breakage somewhere. So the next parameter we are going to measure is resistance. Our resistance is just like the opposition to the flow of current within a conductor. How hard it is for current to flow through a conductor. So if you're going to measure resistance, this red probe here, it has to be in this position. As you see the markings, voltage, resistance and continuity. So I'm going to put it here. Like I told you, the black one remains here. So I'm going to measure the resistance in this little wire. So like the knob, you adjust it to the resistance reading. Let me put there at the resistance reading. Then let us start measuring. So I put one end of the probe at one end of the wire and the other end of the probe at this end of the wire. So you can see the readings. So you can see the readings around 0.004 ohms. That's the resistance of this wire. The fourth parameter we are measuring is current. If you are measuring current using a digital multimeter, actually we just connect the multimeter in series with the circuit. So I'm going to adjust this red probe where you see this 20 ampere marking so that I can measure current. So I also adjust the probe to current DC because I'm going to be using a DC battery. Okay, since that is set, so I'm going to connect this little siren to this battery, and I connect the multimeter in series to measure the current within the circuit. So these are my connectors on the battery. As you see, this is positive and this is negative. So you connect the red side of the multimeter to the positive side of the battery, and then the negative side of the battery you connect it to the negative side of the load or the siren in this case, and the positive side of the siren I'm going to complete the circuit by connecting it to the negative probe of the multimeter. If I connect this, I'll be able to get a reading of the current within this circuit. So you can see the current is around 0.03. Okay, so Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question with multimeters, you can send me a WhatsApp on that number, or you can put your query or question in the comment section. And in case you also have any other problem with a car that is electronic, you can always send me a WhatsApp message. I'll be able to help you out. God bless you.